We continue on our merry way heading north through the Midtown area to the Empire State Building, up to the top for one of the great views of the modern world. It opened in 1931 and it was the world's tallest building for nearly 50 years, rising 1,250 feet high, and then there's a TV antenna that's 200 feet further up. The mast at top was originally designed for blimps to tie up, like a landing port in the sky, but that never quite worked out. They were able to build the entire structure in just a couple of years. They could build a floor a day at the peak, constructed out of 10 million bricks. And still today, the world's most perfect building. It really is the ideal skyscraper. And you have this outdoor viewing platform from which you can see all of Manhattan. Well, sure, two other buildings in the world are now taller, the Sears in Chicago and the Petronas in Kuala Lumpur, but they don't give you this view. And then finally, in the other direction, you're looking at the Hudson River, and across the river is New Jersey. And the neighborhood all around it is quite fascinating. We're in the heart of Midtown, 34th and 5th. All around you, the fascinating sights of Manhattan. Back to our hotel, the Wellington, nicely situated at 57th and 7th, right near the New York Hilton you see here. A lot of action all around. This is Radio City Music Hall. We're at Rockefeller Center. There's a whole bunch of modern high-rise buildings at Rockefeller Center and the skating rink that had just opened. We're here in early October, and the skating season is being officially inaugurated right now with this gala skating event. All free and open to the public. Well, they have some Olympic skaters here performing for you. They were rehearsing in the afternoon also. We got a chance to peek at them without the crowds earlier in the day. And you can rent skates and go down there and skate on the rink. It's open to the public. All around this neighborhood, you're going to find a lot of action, a lot of entertainment. The music of the streets of Times Square at night. This has got to be one of the most exciting places on the planet. It's filled with ultra neon. There's a lot of modern signs that have just gone up in the last couple of years. Times Square has changed remarkably in the last decade. It's very safe and a great place for people watching. It goes all night long. You don't have to go into a Broadway show. You can just look at the show on Broadway itself. New York is a constant street theater. And if you would like the shows, they've got the best. Ticket prices lately for big musicals are averaging about $65, although you can get into some of the smaller plays for about $45. We start out each day with an included breakfast, and at the Wellington Hotel, the breakfast room is a classic New York City coffee shop. Eggs and bacon and toast and coffee, great way to start the day. And today's another fabulous one. We're going to go around the island. That's right, a Circle Line boat ride around the island of Manhattan. Right next to the boat pier is an aircraft carrier that's now a nautical museum. As our Circle Line boat pulls away from its Midtown dock, we see the skyline gliding by. You could also take a helicopter tour of Manhattan. Notice the Bubble Dome Pier. This is a tennis court. This is really an educational and fun experience. You can just sit back in the comfort of your chair and watch all of these sights go by while an expert narrator tells you about the sights. In the South Street Seaport, it's a historical collection of buildings that are open as a museum and shopping mall now. The famous Brooklyn Bridge. You pass under a series of bridges here. There's the Manhattan Bridge. We'll pass under the Queensboro Bridge. All part of the scenery gliding by, so the time passes very quickly, and soon enough you're back on the city streets, continuing our explorations of Manhattan. There we go, back into the subway on another adventure. This time we're going on an evening walk through Greenwich Village. This is one of the really nice times to be walking through Greenwich Village. Here's Washington Mews. It's a short private street of low-rise brick-built townhouses and Washington Square North. These buildings date back over 150 years. Washington Square is still the social center of Greenwich Village with its triumphal arch and lots of benches and activities. So we're strolling around twilight, which is really a fun time to be in the village. You see some of the daytime activity, the shops are open, as well as the evening activities beginning. The restaurants are starting to attract their clients. And the lighting is always nice at twilight. So this is when I'd recommend you take a stroll. You can watch the rush hour traffic jams from the sidewalk and not worry about getting stuck in traffic. The neighborhood residents are out with their kids. This really does have a village feeling. Even today, after all these years, Greenwich Village is a great spot to visit. Bleecker and McDougal, and we came across a street festival. Leather goods, underwear, massage, people, great place for people watching. Crossing 6th Avenue, going down 8th Street. So we had a street market, we had some doo-wop, we saw a lot of pizzerias and cafes, and now we finished with a nice street, 8th Street. Wow, that was some walking tour. Of course, we stop every hour or so and sit down and rest. We do a little shopping, we have a meal along the way. Just below Greenwich Village is Soho, and in the evening, Soho really comes to life. They have sidewalk markets that are open all hours, shops and galleries, restaurants and cafes. You even run into some sidewalk entertainment in Soho. The musicians are out nearly every evening, along with the jewelry vendors and all sorts of people. So it's a great spot for just walking and people watching. Highly recommended walking tour of Greenwich Village and then right down to Soho for dinner. That's about it for our visit to New York City. It's the next morning and we are on our way. There's Penn Station waiting for us. We've got almost 1 hour. Our Hawaii Geographic Society tour group is boarding the train. We're going from Pennsylvania Station to Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is our next stop.